Hi, so these are the ingredients that you will be needing for the albondigas. The cilantro, don't worry about it. You're not going to need it. But basically, you're going to need onion, squash, potato, your preference in meat, and then a bowl to mix your meat with the rice. And then I forgot to put out an egg, but you're going to need an egg as well. And so let's get started. First, you want to put your water to start boil. Meanwhile, you are going to be mixing your meat with your rice and your egg. So here is where I'm opening the bag. Then you pour that into your bowl. So for this part, this is where I said you're going to need the egg. Go ahead and crack that and pour that into your bowl with your meat. And yes, I do wear a glove while mixing the meat. Don't judge me. Go ahead and add your 2 cups of rice, your oregano, and just eyeball it. I eyeball everything. There's no specific measurements for it. And I'm also going to add garlic powder. I love to use garlic powder as opposed to garlic salt because you can go overboard with the garlic salt and then obviously it'll be too salty. So garlic powder is like my best friend. And here I go again with the salt. Just a bit to flavor up the meat. And then I go ahead and add caldo de pollo as well. And then just go ahead and mix that all together. Just keep mixing, mixing, mixing. Please excuse the glove. It's just, I have claw nails. Don't want that between the nails. Just disgusting. So just go ahead and mix that up till it's all well mixed together and the flavors are all spread apart evenly. So then once you're done mixing the meat in your bowl, you're going to go ahead and just grab pieces of your meat and mix it into a ball in your palms and then just go ahead and roll it around till there's no lines or cracks. It's just a smooth surface. And then you're going to go ahead and repeat this for a good while till you're done with all the meat mix that you have in your bowl. So then once you're done making your meatballs, you're going to go ahead and pour it into your boiling water. I tend to do where I like to put them on the outer skirts of the pot first. Obviously they roll for some reason this time they were doing that, but I like to then fill out the outside, then the middle part of the bottom, and then I start stacking them up on top if there's no space in the bottom anymore. So then I start lapping them on top. And then you're just going to go ahead and do this. Obviously, I had way too much water. You will see why in a bit, but I went ahead and took out a couple of bowls of water because it was just overflowing. Then here I went ahead and added my carrots because the carrots do take a while to soften, so I went ahead and added that with the meat. Right here, I'm just going to cut up the onion that I will be adding to my water. I also do have a trash bag, so I can be throwing in my onion. The outside part of my onion, I'm sorry. So and I'm just going to go ahead and cut that up. and add it to my water. So then once I'm done cutting the onion, I go ahead and I start cutting my potatoes. And at this point, I am going to throw away that little piece that has like that purple spot. So I go ahead and just dice it in my own way, like I said. Go ahead and cut that piece off. And then I just go ahead and start cutting it into cubes. And you're going to go ahead and repeat this with your second potato as well. Then once I'm done with cutting up my potatoes, I go ahead and start cutting up my squash, and I like to go ahead and cut them in like these half moon shape, just so they won't be so big and not so small. They're just like a good size. Then just go ahead and repeat that with your second squash as well. So at this point, I'm just checking on my albondigas, seeing how they're cooking, and just looking at the color as well of my meat. So off camera, I did taste the albondigas, the soup, to see in flavor. So right here, you will see me adding ingredients just to let you know that I did add all of that off camera. And right here, I'm just adding tomato sauce just to go ahead and give it some flavor and as well as color to the soup. And I just go ahead and stir that. So I do go ahead and add some more flavor only because it did need a little more color and a bit more flavor as well. So I went ahead and added the tomato flavoring to that. So I went ahead and stirred it again. And then I'm just going to go ahead and top it off with the lid and let that simmer for a bit. So I did let that simmer for a while, as you can tell. I'm just going to go ahead and stir that one more time. See how that's looking. Checking the meat as well, the consistency. I seen that the meat was getting tender, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding my potatoes so they can start cooking with the meat as well. And then once again, stirring is always fun. And I did taste it off camera, so that's why I'm adding more of the tomato flavor. I'm adding a bit more salt. It looks a lot like a lot, but it's not. Then go ahead and stir it again. Then you're going to go ahead and top that off with your lid again and let that boil for a while. Once you let it sit, you go ahead and start adding your squash because the squash does cook pretty fast, so I always add that last. Just go ahead and stir that in and your soup will almost be done. Just go ahead and let that cook. Don't forget to top it off again with your lid, which is not shown on the video. And then your soup is done. And I hope you enjoy this video. And let me know in the comments below if you did try it, see how yours came out. Thank you. Bye.